This universe is not just a stage. Every moment, every encounter, every emotion follows a law. We live within that flow, and now we begin to uncover its truth together. Welcome to the law of the universe, where your consciousness begins to awaken.
The weight of humanity and humility. The essence of true growth and meaningful dialogue in life. Genuine influence does not stem from eloquence or social status, but from the weight we build within ourselves. This weight is the depth of our inner being, an accumulation of knowledge, insight, and wisdom gained through lived experience. A person lacking such weight may enjoy fleeting popularity or superficial success, but over time, they drift away from authentic relationships and lose the ability to make a lasting impact. Those who neglect personal growth and introspection often rely solely on words to influence others. Yet words without substance eventually lose the trust of the public. People begin to turn away. True influence arises from humility and continuous self-discipline. Only those who are committed to filling their gaps with sincere effort are able to earn lasting respect over time. In the home, if parents wish to influence their children meaningfully, they must show a commitment to their own inner development rather than simply instruct with words. As children grow, they begin to see through the surface and recognize the actual depth of their parents. Words from a parent who lacks true weight lose their power. Respect fades, communication breaks down, and emotional distance grows. Titles and social positions may temporarily garner attention, but genuine relationships are built on the inner strength of an individual. To be respected even after leaving a workplace, one must, while still in that position, develop real competence and treat others with sincerity. The essence of dialogue is not to preach, but to share. Real conversation begins with listening, fully understanding the meaning behind the other person's words, before responding. While many speak much, few are capable of deep, meaningful exchange. That difference lies in the speaker's inner weight and ability to truly listen. Furthermore, we must acknowledge that every person has a different temperament and way of processing the world. Some grasp ideas quickly, while others absorb them slowly and respond in time. Failure to understand these natural differences can lead to miscommunication and weakened relationships. A humble heart that strives to fill its own gaps, and a sincere effort to understand others. This is the true power that moves people. It is also the principle that guides harmony within families, society, and human connections. What we must cultivate is not clever speech, but the weight behind our words. That weight is born from the lived mass of one's character, and it is this inner weight that earns respect and builds a healthy society. To listen with humility, speak with depth, and act with integrity. This is the dignity of being human, and it is what we must reclaim today. The true weight of a person. Influence beyond words. Narration, subtitles. True influence doesn't come from how well you speak. It comes from the weight you carry inside, the knowledge, wisdom, and reflection you've gained through life. Words without weight fade. Titles without depth lose meaning. If you want to move others, whether as a parent, a leader, or a friend, don't just speak. Grow. Real dialogue is not about preaching, but sharing. And real growth begins with humility. The world doesn't need louder voices, it needs deeper hearts. Be the one who listens with care, speaks with depth, and lives with integrity. Core ideas. A simplified summary. 1. What is human weight? Human weight isn't about how well you speak or your status. It's about the depth of your inner self, the knowledge, insight, and wisdom you've gained through real-life experience and learning. A person with real weight has lasting influence and earns respect over time. 2. The limit of words without weight. People who only speak well, without real understanding or reflection, may gain short-term attention. But eventually, they lose trust. Words without depth don't last. Words only carry power when backed by true weight. 3. Influence within the family. If parents want to influence their children, they must show growth themselves, not just give lectures. As children grow, they see through empty words. If the parent lacks depth, their words lose meaning, and emotional distance grows. 4. True influence in society. Titles and positions might gain followers temporarily. But genuine respect comes from inner strength and sincerity. To be remembered after leaving a role, you must develop true skills and treat people with care while in that role. 5. Real dialogue is about sharing, not preaching. True communication begins with listening, deeply understanding others before speaking. There are many talkers, but few who can hold meaningful conversations. That difference lies in listening and inner weight. 6. Understand different temperaments. Each person has their own rhythm. Some understand quickly, others need time. If we don't accept these differences, conversations turn into misunderstandings, and relationships weaken. 7. The foundation of true influence: a humble heart that tries to grow, and a sincere effort to understand others. This is what truly moves people. It's also the key to strong families, healthy communities, and meaningful relationships. Checkmark. Final message: what we need isn't clever speech, it's the weight behind our words. That weight comes from a life lived with awareness and effort. To listen with humility, speak with depth, and act with integrity, this is the true dignity of being human. And this is what we must restore in today's world. This is the story based on the above articles. Short story. Words without weight: a man who carried it. The city was gray. Each morning, countless words floated through the air, on screens, in ads, in boardrooms. Everyone was speaking. Loudly. Constantly. And among them stood one man above the rest. His name was Daniel Hahn, 38 years old. A charismatic speaker and a rising influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers online. Daniel's words were sharp, inspirational, and unforgettable. A real leader gives direction. Every one of you is unique. He was applauded, admired, interviewed. Until one day, something unexpected happened. A junior employee, someone who had followed him for years, quietly said, "Daniel, lately, your words feel kind of light." He blinked. "What do you mean? They sound good, sure. But I don't know if you really live them. It feels like performance, not presence." The comment stuck like a stone in his chest. A few days later, Daniel ran into his old high school teacher, Mr. Young. Now retired and living a quiet life in the countryside, Mr. Young still had the same calm gaze Daniel remembered. "You're on TV now," the teacher said with a smile. Daniel nodded. "Yes, but something feels off. I talk more than ever, but people feel farther away." The old man sipped his tea and replied, "Daniel, you've gained the technique of speaking, but maybe you've lost the weight behind your words." "The weight?" "Yes, words need gravity. And gravity comes from living, your failures, your reflection, your effort to truly understand others. Beautiful words alone don't last." From that day, Daniel began to change. He stopped chasing perfect speeches. At work, he spoke less and listened more. In meetings, he asked questions instead of giving answers. He began reading quietly at night, volunteering on weekends, and writing, not for likes, but for truth. At first, people were confused. But over time, Daniel's words gained strength again. Not louder, but deeper. Not polished, but real. One day, that same junior approached him again. "Daniel, your words feel different now. They stick with me." Daniel smiled and said, "I used to try and move people with my voice. Now, I know, it's not about what you say. It's about what you carry within." Epilogue. He no longer needed the spotlight. He no longer chased applause. What mattered now was being a person whose presence meant something, even in silence. That was the life of someone who carried true weight. And finally, Daniel understood what it meant to influence not through performance, but through presence. What kind of people have truly influenced your life? Have you ever felt the difference between empty words and words with real weight? Share your thoughts on what it means to live with depth and humility.